Okay, we're going to continue and finish up our adaptation foldable on page 48. Last week we defined adaptations as a characteristic that develops over time to help an organism survive in its environment. And we said there were two main categories, and those main categories were physical adaptations and behavioral adaptations. We said the physical was an actual structure or a part of that animal that helps it to survive, and that behavioral was actually an action or something that it does to help the organism survive. We said that there were some examples such as camouflage and chemical defense, mimicry, and body covering or parts. Those would all be physical. So what we did was I want you to cut on the dotted line around your graphic organizer, and then I want you to fold it in half so that you will have a crease along this solid line. Now, we're not going to cut that solid line. We're just going to cut on the dotted lines so that we end up with 8 flaps for our adaptation examples. So each one is going to still be attached, but you can raise it and lower it to find out the definition of that adaptation. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to put glue on this side, but not on that side. So if you will, I think when I was printing this, I probably printed it at 85% or 90% so that it will fit on this page. And then I also have a PDF of all of the answers. And so you're going to end up cutting along here. And if you want to make it a little harder, you can cut them all out and see how they match up. Or you can just put them in as is, because I did not mix them up, but we are going to talk about each one. And so camouflage is the first one. We're going to actually put this right here, and then we'll glue this down right behind it. So this will get glued down. And camouflage actually allows some animals to blend into their surroundings, which protects them from predators. But you could also have a predator that blends into its surroundings, like a lion on the African Sahara grassland. It blends into its environment so its prey doesn't see it. So it doesn't just have to be protecting from predator. It could be helping that, camouflage could help that organism to get something to eat. The next one we had was chemical defense, and we said those are substances such as venom, ink, or spray that are used by the prey to repel predators or to get food. I've even heard of a plant that produces a foul smell. It smells like rotting flesh, and it actually is attracting insects to it that would normally eat rotting flesh, and when they come to it, then they are pollinating or helping with sexual reproduction for that plant. So lots of chemical defense type things. Mimicry is looking or sounding like another organism to avoid being eaten or to avoid predators. We said like the butterfly has what looks like eyes on its fins is not the word. What am I thinking? Wings. There we go. Wings. Anyway, so it looks maybe like a larger organism or like an owl, and so predators might not eat it. Same thing happens with organisms that look like poisonous organisms. They usually don't get eaten because things assume that they're also poisonous because they look just like, or almost just like it, so they mimic them. Structures such as claws, beaks, fins, armored plates, scales, gills, teeth. All of these things either allow the animal to find and consume food, or to breathe, or to move in a particular environment. We say those are body coverings and parts. All of those are physical adaptations that help an organism to survive. We said hibernation is the inactive state. It's like a deep sleep that certain animals enter to survive the winter because it lowers their metabolism. They don't have to have as many calories or as much to eat. Any mechanism that gives prey an advantage against predators, we say, is a defensive mechanism, and if it is something that they are actively are doing an action, then it is a behavior. Locomotion is how organisms move. Maybe they can get away from predators quickly, or they can attack prey quickly. Both of those would be behavioral adaptations. And that instinct to travel from one place to another and back again to ensure the survival of the species we call migration. So you're going to glue all of that onto page 48 in your journal.